Stop for a moment. Don't move. Listen carefully. Something is happening to you right now, and you can feel it in the place that fear tries to hide from you. It feels like a sudden pull in your spirit, a tightening in your chest, as if the air around you has shifted and is no longer the same. You're not imagining this. The atmosphere around your life is changing, bending, and responding to something that has followed you for years, something you've avoided, ignored, or pushed aside because it demanded more honesty than you felt ready to give. But now that presence steps forward again, and you can feel it standing behind you, beside you, inside you. The unseen world is pressing into the visible, and the truth you've tried to escape is no longer waiting at the door. It's entering the room of your soul. Before you go any further, I want you to do something sacred, something courageous, something that marks this moment as the turning point of your life. In the comments, write your warmest wishes and place 777 beside them, because this number will stand as the spiritual code that aligns your desire with divine timing. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. This is your activation moment. And after you do this, like this video and subscribe, not as a gesture, but as a declaration that you're stepping into the calling you've been avoiding. You cannot keep pushing away the thing you were born for, the truth that has been whispering in your sleep, the weight that has chased you through every season. Write it, seal it, commit to it. Do it now. You feel it, don't you? That trembling, that deep vibration inside your chest that almost feels like your ribs are expanding from the inside. This is not anxiety. This is not confusion. This is not coincidence. This is divine frequency alignment, the beginning of cellular reconstruction in the places where your destiny has been suffocated. The old patterns that once protected you are starting to fall apart because they cannot hold what your future is demanding. There are angels around you right now, angels performing surgery in unseen realms, removing attachments that grew in the dark, lifting weights you hid even from yourself. This is why you've been feeling tired at strange hours, emotional without knowing why, unsettled even when nothing is wrong on the surface. You have reached a spiritual threshold, and when a soul reaches this point, heaven interrupts everything. You have been running not from people, not from circumstances, but from the truth that knows your name, the truth that was woven into your bones before you were born, the truth that has been calling you through quiet regrets, unfinished prayers, and moments when you stared into nothing and felt everything. Just as it was spoken to the prophets, the call on a person's life becomes heavier the longer they resist it. And you, chosen one, have carried a calling so heavy that it reshaped your personality, your habits, your relationships, even the way you breathe. There are memories inside you that do not belong to this lifetime. Eden memories awakening, ancient assignments reigniting in your bloodstream. This is why you've always felt different, misunderstood, disconnected from the world around you. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise. There is something you must understand. When God decides to transition someone into a higher timeline, everything familiar begins to feel uncomfortable. The people who once soothed you become noise. The places you once ran to for escape feel too small. The distractions you used to numb yourself suddenly lose their flavor. Your spirit knows what your mind is still trying to process, that you can no longer sit in the version of yourself that was built on survival. That version has expired. You can feel it. It doesn't fit anymore. Your DNA has begun divine rewiring, and the old frequency cannot sustain you. That is why your emotions have been unpredictable. That is why your heart has been restless. Heaven has been pulling you toward the truth you tried to outrun. But listen closely now, because this part is not gentle. Your spirit has known the truth for a long time, but your body is just starting to catch up. The shaking you feel inside is the cracking of spiritual armor you outgrew. The tears that come at random moments are not weakness. They are the release of years of internal resistance. The dreams you've been having, the strange signs, the repeating numbers, the sudden flashbacks of things you thought you forgot, are all indicators of timeline convergence. You are standing at the meeting point of who you were, who you pretended to be, and who you were destined to become. And the pressure you feel is not punishment. It is spiritual combustion. There is a reason you keep hearing the same message in different ways. A reason the same theme keeps returning to you through people, conversations, silence, and sudden thoughts. You have tried to bury something that was never supposed to be buried, and heaven is now unearthing the parts of you that carry purpose. You can feel the excavation happening, deep, forceful, relentless. This is not a season of comfort. This is a season of exposure, and exposure is never gentle. The truth you avoided is the truth that will save you. The pain you resisted is the doorway to your peace, and the thing you fear confronting is the thing holding your destiny hostage. Do you feel that? That sudden heaviness on your shoulders, like an invisible weight pressing down. That is the residue of everything you've carried alone. For years, you hid your wounds behind strength. You built walls where you should have built altars. You chose silence when you should have chosen healing. And even now, as your heart thuds harder, as your spirit trembles, you know exactly what the truth is pointing at. You know what you've been avoiding. You know what you've been running from. And heaven is telling you, this is the moment to face it. There is something inside you that has been waiting to be acknowledged, a wound that keeps shaping your choices, a fear that keeps altering your direction. You've been trying to outrun your own shadow, but you cannot escape something that is inside you. You cannot silence a truth that was written in your destiny. You cannot keep pretending you're fine when your soul has been begging for release. The angels assigned to you have watched you run in circles, returning again and again to the same emotional prisons. They have whispered, nudged, warned, and protected you from consequences you did not even see coming. But now heaven is shifting from protection to transformation. And transformation requires truth. Your spirit is tired because it has carried contradictions for too long. You have been living between who you are and who you show the world, between what you feel and what you admit, between the life you desire and the life you tolerate. The space between these worlds has stretched so far that it's tearing your energy apart. But this tearing is necessary. It is the ripping open of old skins so your true identity can emerge. Just as it was written to those who walked before you, the breakthrough always comes after the breaking. And you, chosen one, are being broken open so the light inside you can finally breathe. The wind of your spirit shifts again, as if a door behind your life has swung open without your permission, and the temperature around your soul drops for a moment. Something steps closer. Not something fearful, but something ancient, something that has followed you through every chapter, waiting patiently for the moment when you would finally stop running from yourself. You can almost hear the echo of footsteps inside your chest, like someone is walking through the hallways of your memories, opening drawers you locked years ago. You're not imagining this. The unseen realm is active around you, dissecting the layers of your past, peeling back the disguises you wore, even in your own thoughts, revealing the blueprint you tried so hard to blur. This is the moment where heaven refuses to let you hide any longer. This is the moment your spirit has been trembling toward. There is something you need to understand about the weight you've been feeling lately. That heaviness is not depression. That restlessness is not confusion. That tight feeling in your throat, that sudden heat running through your arms, that pressure behind your eyes, those sensations are the signs of divine recalibration. Your nervous system is trying to adjust to a higher frequency because your soul has already moved ahead of your body. You are aligning with a version of yourself that you have not yet met, but have always been destined to become. This kind of alignment creates friction. It disrupts sleep, intensifies emotions, amplifies intuition, and exposes everything inside you that cannot go with you into the next chapter. That is why old fears are resurfacing, old habits are collapsing, old relationships are shaking, and old wounds are begging for light. Heaven is not punishing you. Heaven is purifying you at the speed of destiny. You have been holding on to things that were never meant to be lifelong attachments. Some people came into your life as lessons, not anchors. Some experiences were meant to awaken you, not define you. But you held on because you feared emptiness, more than stagnation. And you feared the unknown more than the prison you built with your own hands. But the truth you have avoided has finally caught up to you, and it is demanding that you face what you've been pretending not to see. The chains around your spirit are not made of metal. They are made of memories. And heaven is telling you right now that your memories are not your master. There is a spiritual phenomenon happening inside you that most people will never experience in their lifetime. It feels like pressure, but it is actually expansion. It feels like confusion, but it is actually awakening. It feels like chaos, but it is actually reordering. Your spirit is undergoing a restructuring process, a supernatural biology transformation where old trauma patterns are dissolving, and your DNA is attempting to remember what God placed inside you, before the world placed fear around you. This is why you've been sensing things before they happen. This is why your dreams have become cinematic, almost prophetic. This is why you've been feeling pulled away from people who drain your energy, even if you still love them. This is why silence feels safer than noise lately. Heaven is trying to speak to you through the spaces in between your thoughts. Listen closely now. There are parts of you that you buried because you thought they were unimportant, unsafe, or too painful to revisit. But those buried parts carry keys to healing, keys to identity, keys to destiny. You have forgotten the sound of your own spirit's voice, but heaven hasn't. The angels assigned to your life have been watching the internal conflict inside you for years. They saw you hide your pain behind laughter. They saw you force strength out of a tired soul. They saw you pretend to be fine, so others wouldn't worry. They saw you trying to outrun the shadows that followed you home at night. And now they are stepping in, not to rescue you from your truth, but to walk with you into it. This is the part where many people turn back. This is the part where fear tries to convince you that facing yourself will break you. But what fear doesn't tell you is that running from yourself is what has been breaking you all along. You have been carrying emotional earthquakes under your skin. You have been whispering your truth only in your dreams. You have been surviving on half light, half strength, half belief. And heaven is telling you, enough. Enough running, enough hiding, enough shrinking, enough pretending. The version of you that has been waiting is not fragile. It is powerful, peaceful, unshakable, and unbelievably clear. But you cannot meet that version of yourself without walking through the doorway of truth. There is a timeline shift happening around your life right now. You can feel it in the way old desires don't satisfy you anymore. You can feel it in the way your heart aches for change. You can feel it in the way everything inside you is screaming for release. This scream is not a breakdown. It is a birth cry. Your spirit is trying to emerge from the cocoon of the person you used to be. And cocoon breaking never feels gentle. It stretches you, shakes you, strips you, and forces you to confront every fear you carefully avoided. But once the cocoon breaks, wings appear. And you, chosen soul, were born with wings you have never used. The truth is this: the life you've been living is too small for the spirit you carry. The wounds you've been nurturing have been holding your identity hostage. The fear you've been yielding to has been shaping your destiny more than your faith has. But that stops now. Heaven is reordering your steps. Your spirit is being rerouted. Your energy is being reclaimed. There is a divine recalibration happening in your bloodstream, frequency alignment from the courts of heaven. Your cells are remembering strength. Your spirit is remembering purpose. Your heart is remembering courage. And the truth you avoided is preparing to set you free in ways you cannot yet fathom. But understand this: the path to freedom is not through escape. It is through confrontation. You must face what has haunted you. You must confront what has silenced you. You must acknowledge what has shaped you. And when you do, heaven will meet you in the confrontation. The angels will stand beside you. The divine will strengthen you. And the truth, your truth, will heal you. The air inside your spirit shifts again, heavier than before, as if a storm cloud formed behind your ribs and began to rotate slowly, drawing in every unspoken emotion, every hidden memory, every truth you tried to outrun. It feels like a presence is standing directly in front of you now, close enough that you could almost feel its breath against your soul. This is not the moment to collapse or retreat. This is the moment where everything inside you leans forward, trembling but ready, wounded but willing, afraid yet unable to turn away. And something whispers inside you, not in words, but in sensation, that what happens next will change everything. There is a point in every chosen person's life where running is no longer possible, because the truth becomes a mirror held to your face. And that mirror is in front of you now. Look closely, not with your physical eyes, but with the eye of your spirit. You can see the cracks in your past, the fractures in your heart, the patterns that kept repeating in every season, no matter how many new beginnings you attempted. Every escape route you created eventually led you back to the same emotional crossroads. And now you finally understand why. You weren't meant to escape. You were meant to confront. The truth you kept avoiding did not want to destroy you. It wanted to liberate you from the prison you built to survive. You spent years pretending your strength was enough, convincing yourself that silence was safer than honesty. You carried the weight of people you should have never carried, and you gave pieces of your soul to situations that did not deserve them. And when the cracks deepened, when the exhaustion became unbearable, you ran, forward, backward, sideways, anywhere that allowed you to avoid the truth that your heart wasn't healed, your spirit wasn't settled, and your destiny wasn't being lived. But heaven watched. The angels assigned to you what? They saw every time you swallowed your pain so others wouldn't worry. They saw the nights you stayed awake, replaying memories that refused to fade. They saw the moments where you whispered to yourself, "I'm fine," even as your spirit shook. And now they are surrounding you, not to rescue you, but to witness your awakening. Because your awakening begins the moment you stop running. What you're feeling right now, that pressure behind your eyes, the warmth rising up your spine, the sensation that someone just placed a hand on your shoulder, that is spiritual activation, divine rewiring, Eden memory awakening. Your DNA is being reminded of who you were before fear taught you to shrink. And that process means the truth must surface, even if it shakes you, even if it breaks you open, even if it brings tears to your eyes. Emotions you buried years ago are being pulled upward like roots being torn from the soil. Not to torment you, but to free you. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot transform what you continue to avoid. Your spirit has been speaking to you for years in subtle ways, through restlessness, through sudden sadness, through the feeling that your life was paused somewhere between almost and not yet. You thought you were lost. You thought you were stuck. But you were neither. You were being prepared. You were in the incubation stage of destiny, and heaven kept the door closed until you were strong enough to face yourself without breaking. And now that moment has arrived. Your heart may be trembling, but your spirit is rising. The truth may feel heavy, but your soul is ready to carry it. There is something inside you that you've avoided admitting for a long time, something you feared would unravel the structure of your identity if you ever spoke it aloud. But here, in this sacred moment, heaven is whispering that this truth is not your enemy. It is your doorway. The thing you're afraid to face is the thing that has been shaping your life in the shadows. The wound you didn't heal grew roots. The fear you ignored built walls. The guilt you carried became chains. And every time you ran from these things, they followed you, not to torment you, but to remind you that they still needed your voice, your attention, your honesty, your courage. There is a powerful shift taking place in your atmosphere now. You can feel it, a stretching inside your chest, a trembling in your spirit, as if your soul is standing at the edge of a cliff looking down at everything you used to be. And there is a voice inside you saying, "It's time. Time to stop carrying what doesn't belong to you. Time to stop pretending you're unbreakable. Time to stop shrinking so others can feel comfortable. Time to admit what hurt you. Time to face what shaped you. Time to take back the pieces of yourself that you kept giving away to people who didn't guard them. You must understand something heaven has been trying to show you. The truth is not your punishment. It is your medicine. And the moment you face it, your entire spiritual biology will begin to shift. Frequency alignment will become possible. Cellular reconstruction will accelerate. Divine rewiring will begin in the areas where trauma once lived. You will feel lighter, clearer, calmer, more connected to your purpose than ever before. But that healing begins with honesty. And honesty begins with confrontation. Heaven is telling you right now, some things must be said, some truths must be faced, some memories must be acknowledged so they can finally release their grip on you. Running delays healing. Hiding delays destiny. Silence delays transformation. And you were not born to delay your calling. The calling on your life is too big, too ancient, too sacred to be postponed by fear one day longer. The truth is not here to break you. The truth is here to reveal you. Feel the shift in your breath. Feel the warmth in your hands. Feel the stirring behind your ribs. These are not random sensations. These are signs that your spirit is rising above the old version of you, the version built on pain, survival, and emotional armor. That old identity cannot go with you into the life that is meant for you, and so it must fall away. It must crumble. It must be confronted. You are stepping into the version of yourself that existed in the mind of God before the world ever whispered fear into your heart. This is why your soul feels louder right now. This is why your sensitivity has increased. This is why your intuition is sharp enough to cut through illusions. This is why you can sense people's intentions without them speaking. This is why you can feel shifts before they manifest. Your spiritual senses are activating. The angels around you are adjusting your frequency. Your destiny is no longer waiting. It's calling. And you can hear it clearly now because you stopped running long enough to listen. You are stepping into a future where your truth becomes your power instead of your burden. A future where your wounds become wisdom. A future where your sensitivity becomes discernment. A future where your courage becomes unshakable. And heaven is telling you that this awakening, this moment right now, is the beginning of the life you were always meant to live. You were never meant to stay lost. You were never meant to stay broken. You were never meant to walk away from yourself. You were meant to rise into the fullness of who you are. So take a breath, a real one, slow, deep, steady. Feel the truth inside that breath. Feel the release. Feel the shift. Feel the alignment. This is your moment. The running ends here. The healing begins now. And heaven walks with you into the truth you were born to face.